We are here with Alicia, all right, at the University of Hawaii, and today is known as what day? What's today?
Columbus Day.
Columbus
Shoot,
Day,
shoot.
but it's been changed to, as we know now, Indigenous Peoples Day, right? Shalom, shalom, Officer Ithiel. I'm here today with
Siana.
Siana. Siana says that she has Mexican heritage, which is in particular on today a very important thing of note, because today is Columbus Day, or as some people call it, some places call it, Indigenous Peoples Day. We're here today with my brother
Diego.
I'm your brother, Officer Ithiel. We here on Cuts from the Street today talking about Indigenous Peoples Day / Columbus Day. Christopher Columbus, you know what he supposedly did?
Yes.
Tell us what he supposedly did.
He supposedly discovered the Americas.
Right. But there was actually people here when he arrived, so how could he have discovered anything when someone was already here, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So you said that your ancestry is Mexican,
Yes.
right? That means that they were part of that indigenous people that was already here, correct? Now the question that we want to find out is, who were those people before Columbus came, right? We know them as Aztecas today, right? Do you know anything about that aspect of your culture? Do you know anything about Aztecas? Anything about what they believed and what they spoke and how they observed different things?
They had a complex religion,
Okay.
math system. They had a lot of gods, multiple gods that they worshiped. Very intricate in art and building. They were actually pretty advanced from what I remember.
Okay. Well, that's actually great information as far as recognizing that they were not savages, right? Because the term Indian in itself means slave, or Indios, right? Which means slave. They weren't slaves. They were very advanced, very cultured, all that sort of good stuff, right? Right. Now, Siana says she knows a lot of stuff about Columbus Day. I'm just playing. So, Siana, what exactly do you know about Columbus Day?
That it's a holiday over here.
It's a holiday over here.
I just know that when I was in high school, they didn't really talk too much about it. They really kept a lot of it out, you know. But as far as Indigenous People Day, my mom is Mexican. We also have native blood in us.
Okay.
And my dad, he's black and Puerto Rican and all that. So
Okay.
he definitely has some of that in him. But overall, is in my opinion, I really don't rock with Columbus at all. I don't.
Why?
It's kind of like.
Despite the obvious, just feel free to explain exactly the details. You don't have to hold nothing back. Just say
All
it.
right, bet. Well, starting off, you know, people claim, "Oh, he found the United States first." No, he did not find it first. There's already people here,
Right.
but he took it. You know, he didn't hold back either. He was raping women, you know, abusing men, making them experience things that they didn't want to experience. You know?
Right.
They were burning villages, all this, you know. So in my opinion, I don't rock with them. I don't really know why it's the day, you know. And I also look back at it as far as like just the way, just seeing how far a lot of us have come, you know, just as a community, as a culture.
All right. So, seeing as we're in a place with colonization as something that's something that's affecting the people as a whole, right? How do you feel about a day being celebrated for one of the biggest and most well-known colonizers of all time, that being Christopher Columbus, seeing as he's the one that discovered the Americas, even though there was people already here?
It's interesting that we have a day settled for that, especially on an island that didn't want to be colonized. That's just my opinion about that.
So where can I go to learn about Aztec community or reattach to my Aztec roots?
On the island, none.
Okay.
That I know of.
What about black culture, black history? Where can I go to reattach to my black history, my culture before European colonization? Where can I learn that?
Say the most you probably learn is within your community. I wouldn't even say in school,
Okay.
you know, because even when I was in high school, you know, for example, slavery.
Yeah.
They teach you about it, you know.
Mhm.
But they keep everything that you're not supposed to, that they don't want you to know, away from you. So they don't mention it. You have to go out and find that out for yourself.
Okay. the indigenous language of the Mexicans, right, as they're called today, right? What is their indigenous language? Is it Spanish?
Yeah, Spanish.
You sure?
I think.
You think?
Mhm.
Is that something that you ever gave thought to before?
No.
Is that why you wanted to take Spanish, or is it just the elective that you wanted to?
No, yeah. I wanted to take Spanish because one, it's part of like my heritage, I guess.
Oh, is it confusing now?
No, you're
Ah.
confusing me. No, but
So, do you think the Aztecs or the Mexicans, as they were called before, the Aztecs as they were called before they were named Mexicans by Hernan Cortez? Is that another name that rings a bell?
Yes.
Hernan Cortez was another conquistador, right? That followed after Columbus, right? Do you know where Hernan Cortez was from?
Spanish.
Spanish. So, what language was he speaking? Spanish.
Yeah.
Right. So, what language would the indigenous people that he met when he came from Spain? What language would they be speaking?
Probably not Spanish.
Probably not Spanish. So today, where is the language of our Mexican forefathers?
Probably like little to none.
Little to none. Little to none. Are you aware of Moses giving a prophecy about what would happen to the so-called Native Americans, so-called Mexicans, so-called Puerto Ricans concerning the conquistadors, such as Christopher Columbus?
No.
No.
So what we're showing very briefly is who they were before the conquistadors came, and it's actually written in a book called the Bible. Now, a lot of people, yeah, exactly, right? A lot of people think that the Bible is strictly about spirituality and strictly about, poetry and things like that. But there's a very thick part of it that is historical at its core.
So this is the book of Deuteronomy. You familiar with the book of Deuteronomy at all? Get Deuteronomy 1 and 1,
Yes,
so we can tell her everything. What's what? It's gonna be brief. All right.
Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So this book of Deuteronomy is the words that Moses has spoke to his people, the Israelites. Everything in Deuteronomy is delivered to them. Okay? Get Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
Mhm.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
He's telling his people, if you don't listen to the voice of your God, go ahead.
to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes,
Uh-huh.
which I command thee this day,
Remember how Moses had all the commandments? Right? He said, if you don't listen to all these things, right? Go ahead.
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So all these curses will come upon thee and overtake thee, right? Let's get some of these curses because they're an identifying factor. Because if this happened, then those curses should be upon a particular people.
Okay, read that one more time.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth,
Other end of the earth. Watch this.
as swift as the eagle flieth.
As swift as what?
As the eagle flieth.
So the Bible uses symbols, right? Metaphors. It's saying this country is going to come against you from the other end of the earth, and they're going to be as swift as the eagle flight. What did we just discover is on the money of the Americas? And it's the same for the Romans and the same for the Spaniards or the conquistadors, which is who Columbus flew under. You follow?
Yes.
Read.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
So did they speak Spanish when the conquistadors came? No, they didn't. So they didn't understand them. Read.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
And when you read the historical accounts, right here you see it says Indian native slaves. That's what the conquistadors were doing. They were making slaves out of them and making them what? Produce the minerals of the land. Are you familiar with that history at all with the conquistadors?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
Kind of how it is across the board with a lot of indigenous people.
Right. Well, not quite, because if you take Hawaiians for example, they weren't forced. They weren't put like this,
Okay.
right? They weren't murdered. You've heard of the Trail of Tears. You've heard of the hundreds of millions of indigenous peoples that have been killed. Can you quantify that for Hawaiians?
No.
Exactly. So it's different. So what I'm showing you is that a very unique history relates to you. So what's the point? Before they were known as Mexicans, before they even known as Aztecas, they were known as Israel, the people of God, basically. Because a lot of people think that this Bible was brought by the white man. It was not. It was not. Right?
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle,
And he's gonna take all your crops, all your cattle. That happened, right?
Yep.
Go ahead.
and the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed.
And he's gonna take all your fruit, all the fruit of your land until you be destroyed. That's why today, when I ask brothers like yourself, What's the name of the Puerto Ricans before they met the conquistadors? They don't know, because they're destroyed. Everything was ripped from them in a manner they don't even know their name or their language, and they don't even consider it. Right? So here on this flyer here, we have artifacts throughout the Americas that are written in Hebrew before the conquistadors, the European man, ever got here. You got pyramids, just like the one Moses' people built in Egypt, right here in the Americas and in Puerto Rico. Right? And right here, we understand that Christopher Columbus, through the book of 4th Ezra, chapter 13, verse 45, or known as 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, verse 45, understood that Israelites or Hebrews had already came over here. That in public school they say, oh, he was looking for India.
Yeah.
You think Christopher Columbus is stupid?
No.
That's what they tell us in school, but this is actually what happened, right? And that's from the Jews Encyclopedia. You can look that up. So, when Christopher Columbus came over here, who did he meet? The lost tribes of Israel. Your forefathers. Your forefathers, right? And it said that they would be destroyed to the point where they don't understand who they are.
Verse 31.
Yep.
Thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away before thy face.
This goes into your crops, your cattle. All these things will be taken away from you violently, right? I'm not sure if you ever seen for the Native American Indian, as he's so called today. There's a big pile of ox bones and stuff like that. They were hunting down the American buffalo, so that way the Native Americans and all of them could not eat or could not take care of themselves during the winter. Right? The Bible is saying that would be a curse. Read.
Thou shalt not, and it shall not be restored to thee.
And it won't be given back to you. Right? Remember, these are all curses to the children of Israel, Moses' people, for not keeping God's commandments. Give me verse 37, real quick. Because I know he said he got to go. Take this.
Verse 37.
Y'all good. I'm locked in now.
All right, good.
I'm actually trying to understand this.
Good. Let's get it.
Verse 37.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt become.
Remember, this is a curse or a punishment for not keeping God's commandments.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt become an astonishment.
An astonishment. You know what an astonishment is, Diego?
No, sir.
It's an entertainment factor, right? So shock value, right?
Yeah.
Something to please the eyes. For example, people were often put in coliseums. Today we're put in the football stadiums, the boxing rings, MMA rings, right? We're comedians, right? We're radio personalities, we're television personalities, and that's what's okay for us to be.
Yeah.
But as far as becoming doctors and lawyers and people that higher up in society, that's a little different. Right? So we're supposed to be entertainment for people, and that's a curse from God. You with me?
Yeah.
All right, read.
And thou shalt become an astonishment.
Mhm.
A proverb.
A proverb. You know what a proverb is?
Yes.
What's a proverb?
Proverb is like something about like proclaim or tell.
Okay. It's
Something like that.
it's a wise saying, like in the book of Proverbs, full of wise sayings.
Okay.
Right? It's a wise saying, right? For example, it can be called a stereotype. For example, everybody around us has stereotypes about blacks, Hispanics, Native American people. Everybody has some type of stereotype. But look what he's saying about his people, the Israelites, right? So, for example, what's a stereotype about Mexicans right now?
Too easy.
Too easy.
You come to the corner, you sell drugs or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Easy work.
Yeah.
Easy work, right? What's the stereotype about black people?
Too easy. They can't swim.
There you go, right? Now, these are things that's known all over the world,
Yeah.
right? So if I go to China, right, as a black man, stereotypes from America or wherever are gonna follow me, right? If I come to a place like Hawaii, stereotypes or whatever will follow me.
Yeah, 'cause
Right.
I remember when I was a freshman. Oh no, a senior. I came because I went to Milwaukee my senior year, and I wore a black do-rag, a black baggy shirt, you know, and some shorts and some shit, right?
Yo,
I thought I was a thug.
everybody thought you was a thug.
Yeah, but I was just like, it's not who I am, bruh.
So, what did you do in after that? Did you change up what you did?
Nope, just stay true to myself.
There we go. All right. Now check this out. Finish up.
And thou shalt become an astonishment.
Uh-huh.
A proverb.
That's the stereotypes. Go
And
ahead.
a byword.
And a byword. What's a byword?
Oh, he said, yeah, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
A byword. What is a byword? Because it says we'll become an astonishment, a proverb, and now it's saying we'll also become a byword. What's a byword?
Stereotype.
Stereotype. Okay, right. But a byword is a name that is not your name.
Okay.
For example, black.
Okay.
That's not the
Tracking.
name of our people. Puerto Rican, that's not the name of our people. Mexican is not the name of our people. Cuban is not the name of our people. Dominican is not the name of our people. African American is not the name of our people. We are a people that never, ever go by our true name. We don't even really have access to it. Right? He said that would be a curse. Read on.
And a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
So everywhere you go on earth, wherever the Lord leads you, you're going to be going by a byword. So, did you know that your ancestors were found in the Bible? Give me a second, Ezra. Did you know that?
No.
So that's what I'm showing you. I'm showing you something that happened prophetically to your ancestors, proves that you are the people of the books here. Read that.
2 Ezra chapter 13 and verse 40.
Come on.
Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Osea the king, whom Salmanasseh the king of Assyria led away captive.
So what we're reading right now, just to give you the overview, right, is Bible history. It's talking about the 10 of the 12 tribes of Israel. 10 of the 12 tribes, right? And this is some Bible history going on. Read.
But they took this counsel among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
So the 10 tribes are going to go into a country where never mankind dwelt. That would make them indigenous to this region of the earth, right? Watch this, read.
That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land.
Said that they might there keep the statutes. Now, there's some things that you'll find on a lot of Native American traditional clothing that comes at the borders of their garments, which is called fringes. What do you think they got that from? That's a law of Moses. That's a law of Moses. Now, I know that there are a lot of theories that have come out of that, but I can show you specifically a Bible written thousands of years before actually has that law in it for them. Read.
And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. For the Most High showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over.
Come on.
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
Watch this.
And the same region is called Arsareth.
And the same region is called Arsareth. I'll give you this too. But Arsareth, it says the name of the land beyond the great river, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of the restoration. According to 2nd or 4th Ezra 13:45, which is what he's reading, Columbus identified America with this land. So this is what the scholars know and have put together and are showing you that the people of the Americas, the scholars recognize and know they are the Israelites of the Bible. That's right. Finish it out. Verse 46.
Then dwelt they there until the latter time.
Then dwelt they there until the latter time. I mean, they still live in those lands to this day. So I'm just showing you biblically, historically, that you descend from God's chosen people. That's right. Right? You are of the tribe of Issachar. That's what the Bible will call you, the tribe of Issachar of the nation of Israel. All right? All right. You got our contact information, Diego. Any questions? You learn anything today?
I learned quite a few, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I'm actually knowledgeable about a lot.
Okay.
I respect it a lot, bro.
Good, man. Well, it was good meeting you.
I'm not gonna lie. I came in, I didn't know a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Like I just knew the basics of, Christopher Columbus came, and did a lot of things he wasn't supposed to, and now we hate him.
Did you learn anything?
I learned more than I did before, so that's good.
I know it's a lot of information, but I want you to just hold on to it, kind of digest it, and if you have more questions, we have contact information on the video.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
You
Thanks for
guys have a
stopping.
great day.
You too.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models.